Now it's time to seal the concrete floors. We have this liquid sealer from Spec Chem, Crystal Shine Matte Satin Finish Lacquer based sealer. You can dump it out and roll it on with a paint roller, and I have one in here just in case. The better way to do it, I'm told, is through a sprayer. My wife and I, we did sweep, then vacuumed, then mopped this floor. Every time the wind blows, and the wind blows a lot, it blows in lots of dirt and dust. So it's pretty clean, but I have my vacuum here and the broom and the dustpan and stuff. I put plastic up on the doors and windows and openings.
All right, we got our first wall finished. We still have another wall to this room. We made our framing so that our first wall was gonna be just a straight line across the entire floor. We looked at our plans and then we just ran a chalk line as far as it would go. Out of this wall, we're gonna have some more vertical walls, but as soon as we get this wall done, getting these vertical walls is gonna be a piece of cake.
Another thing that I made sure to try to do is any stud we have in these walls that go up land right underneath the trusses so that any pressure that comes down, like if there was a truss sitting right in the middle here, it could potentially bow that out. So we have our uprights directly under the trusses so that they don't put unnecessary pressure in the weakest part of the wall. This wall is getting laid out. This is a pressure treated 2x4 that's going to be on the ground, and we have this laid out. You know, there's the lines indicating where the studs are, and here's a door that'll be cut out later. And this is the wall of a bathroom and a closet. So this door here will go into our closet, that door there will go into our bathroom, and that room there is our master bedroom. Because this is a closet area, you'll notice that this 2x4 here, I put the crappy end facing into the closet. I'm probably not gonna hang any pictures or anything up in the closet, but I don't wanna waste wood by not using this. So I'll use it, but I'll face it the direction that I don't think I'm gonna be hanging any pictures up in. Now I have the top plate here, and this top plate actually goes on the top of the wall, obviously, but I'm gonna do layout, and I found it easiest just to butt it up against the bottom plate and copy everything straight across. Cool. Take the top plate to the top of the wall. Start nailing it again. Danny had to go get the kids. It's just me right now. It goes so much faster with her. And now we've got these shorter ones. They get nailed directly to these. I think these ones are called the king studs. I don't know what these are called. I don't think they're called jack studs. They have a name. I don't know what they are. They hold the header up though. So I put an H for header stud. They're gonna get nailed to this king stud. It is shocking how many nails I'm going through. Oh, I didn't nail this one in. The doors create quite a long span over which a lot of weight could be distributed down, so we create headers. They're beefed up pieces of wood that help hold the weight. The headers I'm building are out of 2x6, 2 of them, and they're gonna slide in on top of these header studs, or whatever they're called, like that. It's not as thick as a 2x4. So, gotta remove the top one, add in a 1/2 inch, and now, we got a header that is the appropriate thickness and spans the appropriate length. Let's build this sucker. Cool. That's not all the nails that I'm gonna put in that header. It's just enough to hold it in place so I can lift this wall up. I'm gonna do that again over here. Gotta get Mr. Clampy. All right, we will eventually have a hose bib on the other side of the house. Through this hole here, I need to put the hole for it in the wall that I'm currently building, which is right on the edge. Whoopsie on my part. I don't really care that much. I gotta pull the wall back. Wah! Let's say 32 to 34 inches. That's where the hole needs to go. That was terrible. It's tall enough that I have to jam it into trusses above me. Make sure these are lined up under the trusses. And jam. Now we get Bertha here. One-handed. He-Man. Holy hell. Yes. I don't do too much of that. Oh, it's got to move in. I just keep leveling it, hitting it, leveling it, hitting it, all the way down the wall until it's nice and level. One important thing this wall is missing, I described the headers here, and these headers aren't really holding anything. They're not doing their job until I put little studs from here up, and I'll show you what that looks like on this wall behind you. That little one and that little one go right up under those trusses. And now, if we take a step back, we can see the construction of this door, the inside stud, the king stud, and that holds the header, and the header holds the little studs. And I wish I knew the proper terms for anything that I'm doing. We can see that this has two top plates, and the top plate is longer than the bottom top plate. I'll show you why that is. There's another example of that one's shorter than the bottom top plate. This top plate has a cutout actually in it. That's a wall, and they 90 degree to each other. And you can see the top plate on this interlock. They lock into each other. Anywhere that two walls will be meeting, the goal will be to have them locking into each other with the top plate. I wanted to show this wall for a lot of reasons. It's simple, it's got two doors, headers, and it's a pretty good example of what I've been doing. But also there's a toilet here. Well, there's not a toilet here. There will be a toilet here. This will get cut off at the floor level. I have to make sure that this wall, the stud, is 12.5 inches behind the center of this pipe. The reason I'm bringing that up, this pipe was set in our plumbing video months ago, and then we poured concrete around it, meaning that from the beginning of the build, when I was putting the plumbing in, I had to know where my walls were going. I got it pretty dang close, but essentially, once the concrete's poured and these pipes are where they're going, these pipes now determine where everything else will be going, right? I can't move this pipe. If I wanted this wall to come this way, maybe for a bigger bedroom, I can't do that because this pipe determines where this wall goes. And it's the same with all the other pipes sticking up out of the concrete. If I made any mistakes, I'm paying for them now. Fortunately, we were pretty good. We got this big glorious wall framed up. Lawrence did this yesterday to the peak and down. And this, I couldn't figure this out to save my life. I didn't know how to terminate the vault into the next truss. This flat truss over here does not end on a wall. And so if you look close, you can kind of see what we did. That nailer plate. And then we have these 2x6s that looks like a ladder, but those are there every 2 feet or so that the double top plates can be nailed to those. And those terminate down into this wall right there. I was unable to figure it out, but Lawrence got it pretty easily, actually. It was not a big deal for him. So this little square, or this little room here, is a bathroom, and this wall here is actually right under the vault. And so we started building the vault out. And you can see the nailer that we just nailed right to the truss behind it, and then we put these 2x6s across. So Lawrence today is going to frame this wall. There's a few things that Lawrence has been teaching me. He's a good drywall guy, I guess. When we go to drywall, we're going to need things to attach the drywall to. I got this piece of cardboard. It's actually a whiteboard. This is gonna represent the drywall. Right here, there's a doorway, and this is a corner that we just built. And we are going to have to drywall right here. So if I take my piece of drywall and I put it up here and slide it to here, I can attach it to the door frame here, but there's nothing over here to attach it to. What we've come up with, and I think this is probably common practice, I don't know. Take another stud. So in here, down here is the corner. So I'm gonna put another stud right here and prop it up right there. And I'm gonna nail that in. So now if we take our piece of drywall, attach it there, push it in, and now we have this stud to nail to as well. I'm standing right now in my daughter's bedroom. Daughters plural, we have twins. Right here's a door, but this door is not for this bedroom. It was actually for the pantry in the kitchen, which would have been kind of like a closet right here I would have been standing in, which means there would have been a wall here, which means now I would be standing in the bedroom, if that makes sense. You'd walk into the bedroom, there'd be a bump out. But this wall would have continued over here, and right here would have been the closet for this bedroom. I'm bringing this up because this ended up being a problem. This bedroom is only, 12 feet. If this pantry and this closet had stayed, those were 3 feet deep, meaning this bedroom would now be only 9 feet. That's not very big at all. And a normal bed is 80 inches, meaning that's how much walking room you'd have between the wall and the beds, plural. Again, there's 2 girls in here. As you can see, they already have a pantry light switch here for this pantry door entrance that is no longer going to serve as a pantry. So now I would be in the original pantry. Instead of having a bump out pantry to here and a closet over there, shrinking the bedroom behind me, we moved all of it over to here.
We made a short recently about how we chose to frame one of our corners so that we could drywall into that corner. And it got some comments, mostly positive, but there were some negative. And something that I don't think we conveyed very well is that we're just beginners. We don't know all the tips and tricks yet, but I do feel confident in the structural integrity of our house.
Here's a good example of a lot that's going on. This is the top plate. This is the second top plate. This bottom top plate can be a continuous link between each of these studs. As you can see, I haven't yet put this second top plate on. Take this stud, for example. There are nails going into this stud from the top. When I put second top plate on, I will keep the nails attaching these two as close to the studs as possible. You can see wires, and there will be plumbing going in and out of this wood all over the place. There's holes everywhere. And so I don't want the electricians or the plumbers to be drilling a hole and suddenly with their nice, hole saws run into a nail. Here's a doorway. To attach the bottom plates, which are the 2x4s that touch the floor, A, they need to be treated. B, in order to attach them, you gotta make sure they're nice and square and nice and straight and everything else. This is the brand Ram set, but essentially it is a gun. And I kind of mean that literally. Here's what you're firing. That's a bullet blank, essentially. So that bullet blank goes, this is hard from behind the camera, into the gun like that. And then that closes up. Then you put your nail, special nail for this purpose, into the end. Now I can attach that bottom plate to the floor, and I want to do it as close to this door as I possibly can. There may be a door swinging here or things hanging, or there's just a big wide opening here, and you want to get these attached as close to here as you can so that nothing shifts, moves, changes, or is otherwise weird. So I'm going to go right between these two studs. That smells like gunpowder. It's awesome. Thank you for joining us for framing, and we'll see you again for who knows what's next.